Please make it loud for Josh Johnson!
It is wonderful to be here, but I was not prepared for the elevation. I'm sure everybody brings it up, but I'm not sure if you can tell by me sitting down immediately that I am struggling. The idea that y'all live here and go up is wild. Like I think we're at the base of the mountain. When I look out the hotel, I see a mountain. I think we're at the bottom. This is a place because I go through this in Denver too. Like when I'm in Denver and there's like lots of elevations and struggle. But here it just seems, it sneaks up on you. It does, because you land and everything's fine. But then you can't even, there's not even enough breath in my lungs to have a point. Like, how do people here argue? What is... It would kill me to be like, and another thing. Like, I bought a bunch of those oxygen tanks. The little, like the little one, the canister you get at the gas station. Where they, and I've been hitting it like I got a problem. I got them backstage right now. I actually bought too many. I bought enough that if you saw me backstage, you'd be like, yeah, he's like one of those oxygen addicts. Like he loves breathing. He loves it too much. He needs to scale some of it back. I wish he would breathe less. No, wow. Because we're still on Earth. I don't know how it could be this different. Feels like astronauts should come here. Like, I'm not gonna go on about it forever, just like 2 more minutes. I feel like every time I'm here, I try to go out in every place. Like I try to walk around. This is harder here, but I try to walk around and then go out, and I just want to experience every place, because sometimes you're somewhere for such a short while and you don't get to spend time there and feel like you had a lot of meaningful experiences. And so I go around, and I remember I could tell who was like from out of town like me. Because there's just an invisible wall you hit when you walking around here. You see people walking around and they be like, oh, there's a beautiful mountain. Whew, man, this place could use some wind. No, I was here one time. I saw a fight. I saw these 2 dudes fighting, and I was like, where do you get the energy to... Like, is one thing, look, if there's a reason to fight, there's a reason to fight. I'm not gonna act like there's never a reason that you gotta go toe to toe with somebody, but like, this is a place that'll make you wonder if you're sure. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is a place where you gotta sell it with your words, and even then, just few words. Just... Yeah, this is a place, oof. I would just be like, say sorry. No, because I saw two dudes like really swinging at each other, and I was just like, that's that much energy to miss. You gotta be sure here. If you fight here, you gotta be sure you about to land. All this, nah. When I was in college, I went to the gym that our school had, right? And there was a dude in that gym. I'd see him every time I went, every single time. And it didn't matter when I went, and I wasn't going like religiously. Yeah, like I'm one of those people who should go more or not at all. Like it's just, but every time I went, it was I go at the most random times. It was open most of the day into the night, and yeah, we had swimmers. We had all of our collegiate athletes, so it had to be open at like 4 or 5 a.m. and then it went all the way until like 10 at night. You could go anytime, and every time I went, he was there. Just living in the gym, not like a collegiate athlete. He wasn't like he was a swimmer or basketball player. He was just there. Every day he was there, working chest and arms. It's the only thing I've ever seen him do. And it was crazy because like freshman year, I was like, all right, you're out on your own for the first time. It's the most popular time in anyone's life to try to reinvent themselves. And so he gets in there and he's like, hey, I'm gonna be like a new guy. I'm gonna be like a ripped guy. That's what people will know me as. I'm just gonna be torn all the time. I won't leave the gym until I'm fit. And then sophomore year, I could see it working, like he was getting bigger. And then junior year, I realized that he was only big where he was working out. Junior year was the first time I saw him out of the gym. I just saw him in the wild. Just on campus. I saw this dude in the cafeteria, and he had worked out to a point where, yes, he had built his chest and arms, but they did. Remember that episode of SpongeBob? Okay, he had built his chest and arms to a point where all he had was chest and arms. And so this dude over here, I'm not even kidding, every time, when he walked, this is how this dude walked all the time, because his arms were huge, but his middle was like me. So it was like somebody glued new arms onto a dude. And he did have a big chest, but because he only ever like bench press, it wasn't big in like the Chris Hemsworth way where the whole chest is big. He had basically just built out. They were perky. Anyway, I bring this up because one night, he finally leaves the gym sometimes. He's still there every time I go. Finally saw him out at a party, and I don't know what happened before I got there, but he got into it with some other dude, and this dude wanted to fight, clearly wanted to fight. He even backed up like he wanted to fight. He did one of those like jump back, arms up, everything. And then this dude slapped him. Like the dude who goes to the gym all the time and only works chest and arms, he slapped him. And I'm not even kidding, this man slapped him so hard, I swear I saw 2 sparks fly off his face. I've never seen anybody slap like that in my life, because he got slapped in a way where he just fell asleep immediately. Like I don't even know if you can call it getting knocked out, because he didn't get knocked, he got slapped. And so he got slapped to sleep. Like when a mother is cradling her baby and she's like, cool, go to sleep. Oh, I need sleep. You have to sleep. Please sleep. Just fall asleep. Okay. Yep. I got you. He slapped him. he slapped him, and like you never saw the arm coming because he just sort of cocked it back, and then it went so fast. So he slapped him. As soon as he slapped him, he was asleep. Like as soon as this right here, he started like leaning back on his phone. But then this dude is so strong in just the arms and chest that he slapped this dude and then caught him with the backhand and started laying. And I feel like he had been training his whole life for that moment. Because he laid this dude down with his backhand and then just went back to partying. But if he was here, if he was in Salt Lake City and he reared back to slap that dude, I think he would have gone down with him. It was too much energy to exert. This is a very difficult time to be like a college graduate. Because you're being sent out into a world that doesn't make sense anymore. But at all. Here's the thing. The world's always been scary in that way of you work to get a skill and then you leave school, or you try to start your career and you're hoping it's at a time where people are hiring, whatever, right? That's always been the case. But never like this. You know, like at least for our parents, money was like real. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I don't just mean money, I mean ways of making money. Like actual ways of making money made more sense. Oh, what did you major in? Oh, majored in biochemistry. Oh, what would you like to do with that? What the major suggests. Oh, okay. Maybe there's a pharmaceutical company hiring. Yeah, just everything led A to B to C to hopefully a livelihood. And now you graduate and people are like, look, I think humanity's almost done anyway, so why don't you just move back in with your parents for a little while, let the robots get legs going, like give the AI legs, and then let's all just wind down as a society. Because it's an insane thing to do now, to send these kids into the world where they're like, look, you could work hard, or I'm gonna pitch you something crazy, or if you get popular enough, you could make your own coin, all right? Now, if you make your own coin, and if you pump and dump fast enough, the SEC won't even catch you like that. So then you can at least hold on to that nest egg for like 10 years, use some of that to pay off your loans. If we're still on the dollar, there's nothing backing up the dollar. The debt is at 40 trillion, so who knows? We might be on the yen soon. We have no idea. No, it's just it's incredibly uncertain. And I get it. I understand it's terrifying for the people graduating. It's terrifying for the people who already graduated. I am also scared. Oh, I've been very scared. As soon as NFTs were what I thought they were, I was like, oh, okay, we might be done. As soon as NFTs were like exactly what my grandma thought they were. Do you know what I mean? Because people were spinning it for a little bit. There was a moment, especially you'd see people that were like, this is on the cutting edge of how creators will interact with their audience, how value will be held to a later date, how you can lock relationship in with a company. And, you know, people, like even my buddy's grandma was like, okay, but it's the picture. It's just the picture. No, I know, look, I know I don't work. I know I don't know how to work the camera on my phone, but that's the picture. That's just a picture. I know I still have yellow pages in my house, but that's just a picture. And then everybody was like, no, Grandma, look, you don't get it, all right? You buy this NFT right now, you lock it in, you share some of that revenue with the artist. When you resell it, it's a way for like artists to make money on the back end of their creation and stuff. Okay, but what if somebody take a picture of the picture? And they were like, Grandma, you don't get it. And then she took exception to that. Oh, I don't get it. I don't get it. All right. Okay, I understand. Yeah, I'm too old. I don't understand. And then she, it was in front of her friend's NFT collection. And then she printed it out. And then she grabbed it from the printer and she was like, do I also own it now? And he was like, no, Grandma. She's like, but the picture right here is here and is here. I'm making copies. I think your picture's losing value. And so it's gotta be, a rough time. Everyone goes through a version of the same thing. You try to enter the workforce and people are like, we need people with experience. Well, how am I supposed to get experience if you don't give me a chance? And they're like, oh, that's a good question. We haven't figured that out yet. But go get some experience and then we'll hire the boss's nephew. And these are probably, if we're being honest right now, like Gen Z, Gen Alpha coming up, these are probably the most industrious young individuals the world has ever seen. These are people that are like building businesses in real time, in like tip of their fingers, just an idea. And not all of it is like AI slop stuff. Sometimes it's just, oh, there's a need in the market. I'm going to address this need in the market and I'm going to make money. And whether it's because they're young and they're not even thinking about what could go wrong, or because they are just like that dogged about, I'm just gonna have to do it for myself. You see all these like very young entrepreneurs, and whether or not they go about it the right way is a totally different conversation, but they are like going full steam ahead. Like, I don't know if you saw at Penn State, they had a whole cocaine ring. Allegedly. There was a fraternity, two fraternities really had a whole cocaine ring that they were operating outside Penn State. Penn State is fascinating to me. Because there used to be like a saying, like, that's why my baby went to Penn State instead of the state pen. It was usually like, that's the thing people said to show that like whatever they did with their parenting made sense and it worked and stuff. And now those two things are kind of becoming the same thing. Penn State in recent years has definitely had some like community college level problems. Like these are like a full drug ring. Yeah, they were moving lots and lots of cocaine. It blew my mind. I remember, look, when I saw the mug shots, I was blown away, because you shouldn't judge people off their mug shots. You should not judge people off their mug shot. But each mug shot, I did feel like I could hear them. Like each mugshot was like, really, bro? Like so many mugshots were like, no way. You also shouldn't judge people by that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. But I would hate to have some of their names in this particular case. I would hate to be accused of being part of a college cocaine ring and be named Connor. Like that, like that's tough to beat the allegations, Tanner. Like it's just, oh, bro. Oh no. That's wild. Because then, you know, these kids, you know, in college, and some of them were engaging with drugs and everything, but there was this one particular kid who became like the source for everybody. And he had a source in, I think it was Philadelphia, that would get him the drugs. And I don't even know if at this point he was selling them at all. He was just like using it as a party drug and, you know, offering it to people every now and again, whatever. And it got to the point where he needed so much when he did start selling that he got cut off by his Philadelphia source. Do you know how uncomfortable you have to make a drug dealer? Dealing drugs is literally what they do. And then you are clearly a good client, but you make them so uncomfortable. You show up, you knocking on the door, you looking through the peephole from the outside. They in the house being quiet. Be still, be still. Be quiet. No, I don't want him to know I'm here. No, he has a problem. Then got like a New York source apparently, and got to the point where they involved pretty much everybody in the fraternity. There were even people who were pledging to the fraternity that they got involved by having them like bag it up. And yeah, imagine you try to join fraternity and they're like, all right, well, go ahead, put on this apron. You're gonna want to take your pants off. You don't want anything to get on your pants, so you know how it is. No, this is insane. And then apparently to like also advertise a bit, hey, we're the ones to come to. Apparently, allegedly. They did use Snapchat. I've never sold drugs. But even I would be like, hey, maybe don't take a picture and send it to everybody. No, I know it deletes, but in case it doesn't. Because there was a guy, I think his name, one of the accused is like Thomas Robinson, right? And sometimes, apparently, to take payments, they did use Venmo. Once again, I'm not like in that world or anything, but I would also be like, hey, maybe wait till they have cash. No, I'm telling you, when I was seeing, I was like, Snapchat, Venmo, this is insane. And then one of the accused was getting Venmo by people that were purchasing from him. And the name on the Venmo was his name. The accused is named like Thomas Robinson. And the Venmo username was Tom Robinson. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think that's gonna be enough to throw the authorities off. Can you imagine a detective looking at everything and being like, if it wasn't for this A and S, I think we'd have our guy. Yeah, on the streets, when he was dealing and people were talking about, apparently his street name was T-Rob. Once again, not different enough from your birth certificate to not be traced back to you. At least like hardened criminals have a name that has nothing to do with anything. Like when I was a kid, there was a dude that just went by Bovice. I don't even know what that means, but it's scary. Bovice is a crazy name. The only way T-Rob could have been a worse name on the streets is if it was B-Rad. Like, bro, what are you doing? This entire story is like, what would have actually happened in Breaking Bad? You know what I mean? You just deal a little bit of drugs and get caught immediately. When I was a kid, there was this little girl in my neighborhood that started her own lemonade stand. And it was like something out of a TV show. Whole reason she started the lemonade stand was she asked her parents for a Barbie Power Wheel, so she could like really stunt on people. So she could like drift in the driveway. Honestly, like I'm not even kidding. If you were a kid, Power Wheel was that type of toy that made you look like Richie Rich. Like a Power Wheel, like you could tell it was a good neighborhood when you just saw a Power Wheel on the lawn in front of the house. I'm like, everybody must have a Power Wheel then. Because to have a Power Wheel as a kid was like having a car. You couldn't tell a kid that was different from having a car at all. Kids would want to ride with you in your Power Wheel if you had a Power Wheel. Like, can you take me for a spin? I don't know. Get in line, you know. It was like all the dynamics of having like your permit at 16, but you were 6 years old. And she wanted like a Barbie Power Wheel. And her parents were like, oh, can't do that. Maybe for Christmas. Only problem is it was February. So she was like, hey, let me do something. Maybe I could start a lemonade stand. And they were like, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. You can start a little lemonade stand. We'll put it in the driveway. We'll even help you make the lemonade. She's like, no, I got it. I'll do it myself. And they were proud. They were like, look at her. She wants something. She's putting the work in to get it, right? And she made the little sign herself. Had the whole thing set up. Had a little sign hanging off the table. Had like 3 pitchers of lemonade. Even had covers on it in case flies came around or anything. And then she started selling her lemonade. She was selling buckets. And they lived at like the corner. So she was over here heckling people that were at the stop sign like, you look thirsty. No, you just looking parched. I'm just saying, it's hot out here. Sometimes AC isn't enough. And it got to a point where a couple people would pass by and they were buying her lemonade. A couple people even came back around and bought the lemonade again because some of them were saying this is the best lemonade they'd ever had. And they weren't just saying that because she's like 9 or whatever. Apparently it was very good. Might have been country time, I don't know. There was one guy came by and he was like, I'd love to buy some of your lemonade. And she was like, okay. He gave her some cash and walked off with it. Thank you. And he was one in particular. A couple hours later, he came back over. Hey, that was the best lemonade I've ever had in my life. Can I have another cup? She was like, sure. Thank you so much. Walked off again. And she was selling pitchers of lemonade all day into the next day. Into the next day. It was Sunday and she had made like real money. This was crazy. Her parents were impressed because when she initially wanted to go to the store and get all this lemonade mix and like lemon juice and test out what was going to make the best type of lemonade, they just thought it was cute that she was putting so much work into it. But they also, in encouraging her, had bought like way too many lemons and way too much lemonade mix. And way too much sugar. Because she was going over it in like little experiments. Should it be a little bit of like lemon Kool-Aid? Could that be my secret ingredient? Put a little extra sugar in. Maybe not as much water. Maybe make it, not as icy. You don't want to dilute it too much. And she finally got her secret recipe. She told me it was a secret too. I've got it. I'm going to make the lemonade myself. And they were like, okay. And in those 2 days, she went through almost as much of the ingredients as they bought. Like they were genuinely very impressed because word was getting around. And depending on the hour, she even had a little line. She was making bank. And dude from before that came twice on the first day, he came twice the second day. Came 3 times on the third day. He was even tipping. Everyone loved her lemonade so much. But after a while, on that third day, on Sunday, they noticed that some of the people that came back around were like extra eager. And so her mom pulled her aside and she was like, I'm glad that your lemonade stand is going so well, but like, is this not a bit odd? She was even talking to the dad. It was like, all these people are coming to the house to get lemonade. And she was like, it must be my recipe's too good. And they were like, what's in the recipe? She's like, I can't tell you. She's like, come on, you can tell us. We won't tell anybody. I can't tell you. Tell us. She was like, okay. I put in 3 fistfuls of sugar. Per pitcher? No, per cup. put in 3 fistfuls of sugar. I squeeze 3 lemons. And then I put some of mommy's water in there. And they went over to their liquor cabinet and all of the vodka was gone. They were like, sweet, you cannot go in there. That's just for us. You can't go in there. You can't put that in the lemonade. We can get into a lot of trouble. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, yeah, we got to shut this whole lemonade stand down. They went out there. They're like, sorry, y'all. Sorry. Hey, no more lemonade. And the man that had come every day was like, we've been waiting in line. We've been waiting in line. How you gonna do that to us? We waiting patiently. Waiting patiently. Just one more cup. Yeah, I hadn't seen anything like that where it's just like a kid distributing something illegally, becoming a real kingpin until these Penn State guys. Like that's when I was like, imagine you think you're just going to a frat party and then you step into a cartel. Because when they got raided, like they got searched, cops came, everything, and one of the brothers who was like, I guess a distributor himself, he thought that the whole raid was a prank. We don't have to go on and on about it or back and forth about it. But if you ever want to know what like white privilege is, just the idea that the police showed up where you live with guns, searching your room, and you were like, what is this? Guys, what? You're kidding. You've got to be kidding. Knowing that there is cocaine, like knowing that there's something to find, by the way. It's not like they searched his parents' house and there's nothing. Knowing that there's like every type of thing in here. Come on, guys. Come on. Cut it out. That had to have confused the police. Imagine you the police and you show up and you're like, we have a warrant, back away, please, no, everybody against the wall, please. And then at least one kid is like, y'all, quit playing, all right? I gotta study for midterms, okay? I can't be doing this whole thing right now with y'all. I said we have a warrant, get against the wall. Oh, next thing you're gonna want me to get on the ground. Like, no, come on. Come on. What are you doing? Apparently, this dude thought that it was a prank all the way up until the police did use a stun gun on him. Which means even if the police were putting his hands behind his back, he's like, come on, bro, stop. It wasn't until they stun gunned him that he was like, this is real! That's a wild realization to come to all at once. The police been in your house for a while. Now you over here shaking, somebody call on, T-Rob! Now you over here locked up. You ran a successful business. The president can't even say that. The whole thing is fascinating because, like, the supposed ringleader was also an accounting major. Was on the dean's list like 3 years in a row. He's crushing the numbers. And now you're sitting in jail. You had your whole life ahead of you. And people over here in prison, you know, for some of the same reasons as you, but they got there a very different way. And who knows, maybe some of these kids will get off. Maybe some of them will be able to go off and do their thing. Because even when the undercover cop was like buying from them to try to get them, you always think there's going to be like one purchase. Because that's what you see in movies, where it's like, as soon as they're like, hey, do you have it? Yeah, I have it. You're under arrest. But they bought from this kid 6 times. I don't know why you need 6. At that point, the police trying to give you chances. Like, look, maybe the first 2 times he just had it on him. We don't know. But now you're sitting in jail. And people trading stories. What are you in for? What are you in for? And everything. And you tell them, yeah, I went to Penn State. Yeah. One of the other inmates is like, oh, wait. We heard about you. We heard about you in the streets. Are you T-Rob? Salt Lake City, y'all been phenomenal. Thank you so much.